here's lesson number one. You want to learn about angels. When you're doing something that is of a lot of light, like with, these angel cards, right? There are two different groups of angels. There are the positive angels, there are the negative angels. Everything in this universe is by polarity of light and dark, good and evil. That's the reality, whether we like it or not. And when you're trying to reveal a lot of light, there is an opposing force that its job, and it does it perfectly, unlike us, it does its job perfectly, is there to stop that from happening, and the more we see that and we don't fall into the illusion, the more control and power we have over that side. So this is just typical what's just happened with our internet and our connectivity. It's because I'm talking about angels, that's why. So lesson number one, there you go.
I'm going to talk a little bit more naively than I would normally, but just in what gives you such certainty that there are angels?
Well, first of all, being a student of spirituality, of Kabbalah for 25 years, the more you learn about the secrets of angels, which, by the way, according to the Kabbalistic canon of knowledge and wisdom, it's much, much more profound and detailed than in the New Age community. So if you look at a lot of New Age books about angels, angel cards that are out there, a lot of it is quite similar information. According to the Kabbalistic canon, there is such a volume of work about angels, their job, about good angels, about negative angels, about the power of speech and how that create angels and what the angels look like and how they manifest. And it's absolutely, I mean, there could probably be a week's worth of wisdom and knowledge there just to share on this topic from the Kabbalistic perspective. So, aside of the knowledge that I've acquired from this path that I'm on, the spiritual path that I'm on, it's also the fact that I feel the angels. Now, I've never been one to really be into angel cards, ironically, right? But I think since taking on this project, since I was given this project 5 years ago, it's opened up a whole new world for me of working with these more Kabbalistic angels and the pure light that they bring into this universe and the guidance and the support and the answers. I'll ask a question and exactly the answer comes into my ear. And, how do I know it's from those angels? Because they give me an answer that in a million years I wouldn't have thought of myself. I know myself. So the wisdom or the guidance that comes through me often is not of my own language, and that's how I learn. And when people start to learn and they're open to work with angels, they start to identify the voice, the vocabulary, which will always be different to your own, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. And each angel card, I mean, I've got them here, but I've got the basic ones, the basic
Yeah,
ones. So there
the
you,
Bala Center ones.
yeah, they're the
Correct.
Kabbalistic ones. And there you see the Hebrew letters. So each angel,
Yeah.
like this one, represents thought into action. So those letters, tell me about those Hebrew letters related to each of those 72 names of God. They're not just letters, I believe. Is that right? They're
That's correct. And
actually,
also in the angel cards that I did as well, you can see it's the
yeah, well,
same ones here.
they're the ones
These
you
are,
design. They're the
but the
bespoke
letters are the
ones.
same. Correct. The letters are the same, and they come from the 72 names of God, which is one of the more almost primordial kind of, creation of the universe. Names is probably the wrong term for it, actually. I think it's more like frequencies. Like in Reiki, you have different symbols which emit different frequencies. So, in the same way, these names of God, they're actually frequencies that emit different qualities of the creator, of God, of the light, of the universe, whatever you want to call it. And in the respect of the 72 names of God, there's 72 different ones. There's other names of God as well, like the Tetragrammaton, which comprises of 4 Hebrew letters, Yud K Vav K. And that one has a few different manifestations used for a few different things. But primarily, the 72 names of God, that's what they are. They're 72 different frequencies. And what's unique about these cards in particular is that, and by the way, I was given permission to create these. This was not something that I just decided to do on a whim. They have the 216 angels behind the 72 names of God. So, for instance, in the Kabbalistic understanding, the way Moses split the Red Sea was he used the 72 names of God. He used these 72 frequencies to break in, to penetrate into the subatomic level of nature, of reality, which at the time was the Red Sea. And by the way, there are other stories of different Kabbalists or different patriarchs that use the same thing. They use the same technology to create unbelievable miracles. This is technology, spiritual technology that can't be hacked by the dark side. This is pure as a pure light system. And the angels that are revealed, so there are three angels per name, per code. And those are kind of the angels that, if you like, they did not, I don't say the dirty work, but they actually went and did the work of splitting the Red Sea. They kind of helped to manifest this energy in the physical reality. They are carriers of the intention. So
Mm.
that's what the 72 names of God are.
Can we use the power of each one of these names for purpose in our lives, or
Yeah.
something we want to manifest? Can we use that? If we pick one of these cards, do we pick them at random, or do we say, right, I'm looking for a soulmate? That's the most common one that people seem to come out with. Or I'm looking,
Yeah.
I'm looking to fulfill my purpose, or I'm looking to be more creative in my life. I'm not satisfied with where I am. How do I
Mm.
call on the angels and the 72 names and the letters for that life's potential or that life improvement?
Yeah.
Does it work that way, or
So
is that
it
a bit
works in
too
every
abracadabra?
way that you've mentioned,
No.
basically. So, angels is something that, yeah, they are invisible. I call them kind of invisible kind of beings, with my kids sometimes, but they're everywhere. But if you want specific angels, there are specific angels that are responsible for different things in this world. They are connected to the specific frequencies, for example, with the 72 names of God, to whatever that name or that code represents. And when they work together, they can help manifest that energy. For instance, there is, one of the cards, one of the names of God is for soulmates, is for connecting to an aligned soulmate. In every area of life, if it's in business, if it's in friendship and romantic relationships. So when you call upon those specific angels, they can support you in that process. Are they going to manifest your soulmate as you walk down the road? No, they're not. But what they will do is that they will help you to realize what is the consciousness that you need to have, what state of being, what do you need to be doing in your life, where do you need to be going in your life, who do you need to be talking to that might give you the guidance to what you need to be doing in your life, what communities you need to be gravitating towards in order to find that aligned soul to your current vessel, which hopefully will be an upgraded vessel if you work with the angels and you listen to what they have to say. So aside of the archangels that a lot of people are familiar with, there are so many other types of angels out there. Again, the 72 names of God angel cards can show you what they are, but there are other angels out there as well that can support you in different things that you want to get. Now, there are angels out there that you can use to manipulate the universe, to get the power, to get the success, and by the way, the dark side, people who are involved in sort of more dark things, they do use that. But that is absolutely categorically not the way the Kabbalists would promote to use angels. There are types of angels that support you in the correct way so that they're not giving you a short circuit of the blessing or the fulfillment that you want without you earning it, but that support you in you earning everlasting light, not short-term light, but everlasting light, which requires you to do a level of spiritual work and transformation within yourself. And that's the guidance that we should be asking for with whatever blessing that we look for in our lives.
So you can't just text them and say, hey,
No, no,
so it
no.
sounds like you've got to be aligned with it. You've got to have the consciousness for it. Is that right? You've got to elevate
Yeah,
to that energy of that angel that you're asking for. So, but
yeah,
will there be a particular name in these 72 names of God? If you're asking for a soulmate, there will be, you can look it up and you can find the angel relating to soulmates, and you can
yeah.
meditate on that. Is that right? On those letters, right? And I
Yeah.
keep showing the basic ones, but you have devised with your artistic abilities, you've
By
devised.
the way, you have my deck card, don't you?
I don't, ashamedly.
Mm.
Yes, I know, but
That's
uh,
okay.
I will get some. But your deck is larger. It's a beautiful, and that's your original. Oh yes, show that. Oh, it's gorgeous, and that's your original. Each one has 70, the 72 names of God angel cards. Gorgeous. And each one
Yeah.
is designed by you, right? You did each one. So you did
I
70.
had an assistant, by the way, who called Monica from Bulgaria, who's amazing. And I couldn't have finished this project with one, two, three, now four kids without her. But, it was, yeah.
That's
So,
fantastic. Show us the back of
yeah.
that because the letters are there, aren't they? The Hebrew letters. Yeah. Now that is Nun in Hebrew. That is Nun
I don't know if
Mem.
it's by the way, the video, but can you
That's
actually
good.
see it in
No,
the mem?
yeah, going backwards. So we're starting from right
It's
to left.
backwards.
Yes, no, it
Yeah,
is from right to left on the video.
it is.
And that will explain, right, the what that angel's job is, right?
Yeah,
Job?
that frequency. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it explains. So on the back, what you've got is the consciousness that you should be in to align to that
Yeah.
specific theme or topic that you want to draw connection to. And you've got the three letters there that you can help you to anchor that in your life. And then there's a small meditation. It's like a mantra that you can say to really ground that fully.
Right.
So, yeah, you understand?
I
Yeah.
do. I do. But I want to say to you, we call them letters for the sake of an easy word, but they're not actually
Mm.
letters, are they? They're actually creation, aren't they? They're symbols of
Yeah.
creation, aren't they? Can you, can
Yeah.
you, can we unpack that a little bit more with your knowledge?
So let's take religion out of it for 1 minute, okay? Forget about religion. The Hebrew alphabet, they are the 22 letters. They are the building blocks of creation. They are the manifestations of the creator in different forms that have different frequencies that allow the creation of the universe to be created essentially. And therefore, as a result of that, many or before the result of that the names of God include that, and that's the reason why they're in this Hebrew language. Hebrew language is not a language of the Jewish people. It has become so, but prior to that, they are the building blocks of creation of the universe, of how everything is set up and created the way that it is. So you can understand why they are so powerful, and that's why many of the Kabbalistic prayers are in this language. Or also, I mean, for example, the Holy Zohar is written in Aramaic, right? Because it's the only language that can sort of bypass the exactly. Um, it goes straight to the source, even bypassing all the whole angelic stuff and whatever. It's one of the most powerful tools that we can use for protection and for blessings in our lives. But that's using the Hebrew alphabet via the Aramaic language. But it all boils down to the 22 building blocks of creation in all of the things that we do
Okay.
in Kabbalistic practice.
Right. So, in real terms, what we're holding up on a card is not a word. Each letter has a different frequency, and I believe it's also related to numerology that each letter has a different number. And when
Yeah,
those numbers are put together, the relevance of that is an energy.
that's correct. That's correct. I mean, even the body, I was doing a women's circle 2 nights ago, and we were a lot of the people there were holistic practitioners, they were Reiki masters, they were, breathwork specialists. And I was sharing with them, they wanted to understand about the Tikkun HaNefesh, which is another Kabbalistic technology, which is all about all the parts of the body and there's specific names of God, again, the tetragrammaton that is associated with that part of the body, aka that part of the soul. So the soul part of your brain, the soul part of your arm, the soul part of your reproductive organs. And when you understand the language or the names of your different parts of your soul, you can therefore create almost like a a pure vessel, like a throne for the light of the creator to kind of sit through and blow life into your arms, into your hands, into your eyes, so that you become a real kind of channel for the light of the creator every day. Your words are speaking the words of the light. Your ears, you're hearing and you're listening to only words that are of love and compassion, of unity. You're using your hands to write words on, Facebook comments or whatever, that are promoting unity and connection and understanding between people. So that's another thing the angels can support us with, is becoming that vessel for the light to sit in and work its workings in this physical reality every day, and make miracles and wonders and huge blessings, not just for yourself, but for the people around you, and actually on a quantum level for the entire human race, which, my God, needs it now more than ever.